This podcast is sponsored by Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is literally the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, it's free. Second, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many other platforms. You can make money from your podcast as well with just minimum listenership. It's literally everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. And it's what we here use at The Struggle is Real. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Struggle is Real. We just got done with finals, and I'm so happy because it's finally over. It's finally fucking over. But today I'm here with Kerbi Slusser and Anna Scalzi. I said that right?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to start with Kerbi. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into film.
Well, my name's Kerbi Slusser. I'm from Texas. Whoop, Giga Maggies. Film kind of was always a passion of mine, like in the background, if you will. I'd always loved wildlife. That kind of came first. I've been hunting since I was 4 and fishing and stuff. So I went to undergrad at Texas A&M with a wildlife degree, and while I was there, I was like, I still want to make that film that I always thought about. Joined a group, did that, and then I was like, oh shit, I kind of like this. So I did it again, and then I was like, oh fuck, like I really want to do this, but I still really loved wildlife, so I decided I was going to finish my degree at A&M, and then I was going to look for a film program to then pursue a graduate degree. And that's just kind of how I got here.
I think your story is very interesting because you really went from wildlife, I can get a legitimate job, to fuck it, I'm doing art.
Yeah. Well, that was the other idea, was that it was my junior year of of my undergrad, and I was like, really like I'm really passionate about film right now, like because it just hit me as like I really want to do this. But I had that struggle of like, but I still really like wildlife, but right now I'm like, it's new and exciting, so you want to just jump right into it and go straight into film. But there was the side of, okay, well, 1, I need to graduate. 1, I've spent all this money at the school. I said 1 twice, but 1, I've spent all the money. 2, I'm in school. 3, it was just like, I need a backup plan. If art and film doesn't pan out the way I want it to, I need to have something. And I was like, so I'm going to finish this degree. I'm going to have this document. I'm going to succeed. And I'm going to follow through so that if I fall flat on my face with fucking film, I've got this degree to go with, and I can get a job, and I know people in that industry and can make that happen. So
that's dope.
There was that kind of idea.
Anna, tell us a little bit about you. How'd you get into film?
So going off of Kerbi, like I'm Anna, by the way, so let me start there. And I'm from like Jacksonville, Florida. I did my undergrad at UNF. But me being a planner, I actually did not plan on this career, which is weird because I went into my undergrad, like I switched majors all the time. Like I went like from, I think it was like 3 to 4 majors because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And then one day it literally like hit me. I love films, I love TV, why don't I work in it? And that's what happened. Like I went into the communication program because I had spent so much time in my undergrad that I really couldn't do the film major, so I did the next best thing, which was communication multimedia. And I did docs, and the more I learn and the more experience I get, I just love it even more, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And like I'm a fan of superheroes and like how they do the different crossovers that they're doing now, and
like on
the CW and like even the movies, like those Marvel movies, like it looks like you're watching an episode. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, instead of like a movie, because there's just so much going on, and there's like what, 10? It's been going on for like 10 years already. Yeah. And it's a nice like how they're building off of it and just doing new things and introducing new characters, and I like that. So
Kerbi, what was it that you wanted to do? Do you want to direct?
Yeah, directing and producing is where I'm putting my eggs, I guess. I'm freezing them and putting them in those baskets.
Okay, all right.
That's why I sold my firstborn. That's why I couldn't give it to you in this contract.
Thank you, Kerbi, for that. None of my listeners know that taking children. All right.
No, but like I usually have an idea, and that's why I want to direct, because I don't trust a lot of people to go with the ideas. Because usually when I have an idea, I envision it very clearly, and I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. So I say a little bit of writing, but it's more co-writing. I don't like to write on my own. I really do like to sit down and collaborate with someone. Usually it's like, help me get this idea out, and I don't mind collaboration, but usually they can see I have something for it, and they'll help me make it come to life. Because sometimes I'm like, I see this, but I don't know how to make it happen. So kind of writing, but mostly directing and producing is where I would like to be.
Okay, what about you, Anna? I think you said you want to be a producer, don't you?
Well, I can't say that right now because I don't have that much knowledge about producing. But like, I always wanted to video edit. That's what I came into SCAD for. Doing classes here, I've gotten into screenwriting, which is also like, I'm more like Kerbi in the sense that I need collaboration, because like I have these ideas, but like it just comes to a point where I need more to help me move forward. And but through my writing experience, like I love it, and I love getting into that world. Again, I said I like superheroes, so doing that, getting into the mind of the character, getting into that special world that we talk about in class. It's really entertaining, and it takes a lot of time, and yeah, I just love doing it.
So we just got done with finals week.
Yes.
We went through a lot of hell between trying to get certified for Avid, doing Mr. Kinney's music videos, me doing, you guys aren't in 704, but I had Quinn's producing, and also Arnold's cinematography.
And I had Sean for screenwriting.
She had writing, I didn't.
I had to come up with a pilot, and let me just say, having an idea to go off of is great. Because some of the students did not have a good, like, there wasn't something in development. It's not a good idea. They were good ideas. It's just, it wasn't in development, and you kind of have to write pages and do shit, like, real quick. And
what she's saying is some people's shit sucked. That's her nice way of putting it.
Just in the future, have a well-executed idea, because that will definitely help you when you have 40-something pages to write.
You know, that's interesting that you brought that up, because Kenny said, like, during the last class, like, if you have a break or whatever, don't actually take a break. Have, like, a list of stories that you can, like, shoot and, like, actually execute and stuff like that, because you're not going to have time once the class starts again.
I find that so hard to do, though.
Because
it's really difficult.
I find very few stories that I'll think of that I get passionate about, and I don't want to make anything that I'm less than passionate about.
Right.
Like, I was so lucky that for my music video, that I had this kind of idea for it, but it kind of worked out because our artist, it was about, like, remember the husband passed away and then she's moving on. Well, our artist had that happen. Her husband had passed away, so it kind of worked out that I kind of was like,
we'll be putting the link in the description.
Yeah. But like, that was the idea, was to do that. But that kind of worked out because I was passionate about it, because I was a friend of hers and I wanted to do justice for that and things. But there's very few things that come along that I'm like, I want to make this story.
Yep.
And so when they're like, yeah, just pump them out, like one location, I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
I find that so hard to do. They're like, I mean, you can do more, but they're like, it's simpler if you have one location. And I'm like, I'm not like,
I don't know how to contain a story
exactly.
Like I don't know how to contain a story to a whole house or just one location, and I find it really interesting that some people can do it and some people can't.
I mean, like, I think you can do it, but you have to have a lot of writing experience under your belt. Because, like, one of the things we talked about in Sean's course was Breaking Bad. And there is, like, an episode where it's just a one-location thing. It's a one-location thing happening between two characters. But the writer for the show has been doing it for a long time. So I think you have to do that, like,
they just say it so casually.
They do.
Like, Well, fuck.
And then, like, when, like, Kenny was saying, like, to do stuff over the summer, that's great, but a lot of people are not going to be here over the summer because they're either going home or they're not coming back to school for the summer, so that's a little difficult to do.
The hustle never stops.
Because you know by now who you want to work with, and if they're not available, it's like, how do you do it?
Preach it.
So how did y'all get through finals? What got you through? Or what were you most stressing about? That's what I should ask first.
My thing was Avid because I, again, wanted to be an editor and there was a lot of information and pressure there. But really was the pages I had to turn in for Sean's class because it was for like a 48-minute pilot. And you don't think 48 pages is a lot, but it is like in script format. And
I know that he's very particular about what makes a story good.
And like he goes over the 15 beats that you need to make a story, and fine-tuning those is what's really difficult for me. And not just me, it was difficult for the whole class in general. Because
what was your story about?
A superhero. My pilot is about...
Surprise.
An origin story. I mean, I've said it more than once, but yeah, it's an origin story about a girl who just discovers that she comes from a magical world, and she will have to decide if she wants to pursue vigilanteism and help other people within the, like, in general, and it has magical components to it. So it's a big world with a lot of backstory and a lot of information, and condensing all that just for the pilot was a difficult thing for me to do, because there are certain things you need to have in your pilot because it's what sets up your whole series and your whole season, and it's a lot of writing and a lot of rewriting and patience, and you just want to like delete everything and start again, and you don't have the time, and so you just gotta push through and deliver your pages at the end of the day.
What about you, Kerbi? What had you stressing out the most? I mean, I already know the answer, but share with the listeners.
Group projects. I hate them.
Talked about this
yes.
So many times.
I won't go into any details, but yeah, the group projects are rough, especially when you don't have, I guess the best analogy would put, if you have a table, you've got 4 legs, and if one of them ain't working, your table's fucking wobbly as shit. And I had a wobbly fucking table and not enough salt packs to put under there to keep it up. And so it was rough.
Kerbi!
The salt was just rubbing in the wound. That's all it was doing. We got it done. It looks good, but stress levels, I can handle a lot of stress, but man, friends, Mahalia, Anna, lots of venting really help. I know that people just call it bitching. Well, I don't care. I call it motivational speaking. So just motivate you to do better. But that and chiropractor was really good.
There were a lot of motivational speeches going on this quarter.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
I have
from
heard
different people.
Rants from everyone. Yeah. There's not one person that had like an amazing quarter where nothing went wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, things are going to go wrong. Like that's a given. We all know that's the film industry. That's what shit happens. It's just how people handle things, and that was my issue. You see a lot about people's character, and sometimes you're surprised. Sometimes you're like, well, I figured that shit out first, and it's just a matter of dealing with it. But it just, like I said, it sucks when you got a wobbly table. So
what did you guys do to deal with it? Like when you went home, what did you do to like forget about the stresses of film school?
No.
Oh my God! This is why we do not have video. This is why y'all do not even want to know what Kerbi just did. Oh God. Okay, and I'm moving on.
I motioned a dick in a mouth.
Oh my God, Kerbi! You have to edit the shit out of this.
I was in the process of writing a pilot this quarter, and I kind of just went back to, just watching pilots to get my head focused on writing. But it also, like, I go back to the shows that I watch. It kind of, like, it mellows me out. Like, it just, it gives me something to focus on that's not school-related, stress-related, group-related. And I had family come up, and that was a really big help. And, spending time with them to kind of, like, get out of my head. And spending time with friends at school helped a lot.
So you say you watch TV shows or like movies and stuff to de-stress. You don't find that difficult to do, especially knowing that you're in film school, so you're looking at it and you're like, oh, look at that shot. Ooh, I know how they did that. Like, you don't, like, find yourself analyzing the movie and tearing it down? Well, not tearing it down, but
I do, but on something that I've already seen. So if it's, like, a new movie, like... I don't necessarily do that, which I should, because I have to have my film maker hat on, as I've been told. But, like, if I rewatch a show that I really love or a movie that's a favorite, like, I'll definitely pick up on it. I'm even starting to pick up on these beats that Sean has been, like, bashing our heads in about. And so, I mean, it's a little distracting, but then overall, like, when you have your favorite movie that you're watching, it's like... you pick up on it, but, like, it's not a big deal because you've either seen it a lot of times and you just love your movie and you just focus on it, that, like, you could see it, but it's not distracting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand you. So you immerse yourself in the world of the story. It's not even, like...
I find it hard to put the filmmaker hat on, actually, because I go to movies to be entertained, to enjoy them, and so when they're like, I'll catch up, I'll catch things. Yeah. Like if I see a shot, I might think in my head, ooh, that's really cool, but I don't let it
distract you.
Right, unless it's one of those really bad things where you're like, whoa, that just took me out of the whole film. Something like that. But for the most part, it's harder for me to get into the filmmaker mode than it is to, like, they're like, get rid of your moviegoer shit. And I'm like, that's the whole reason I'm here, is because I love that shit.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I'll do, like, I will say, like, if there's, like, some type of continuity error, that kind of draws me out big time. It's like, even if it's a small thing, like, it just could be a simple continuity thing, like, I'll be like, oh, great, filmmaker hat on. Like, you took me out, like,
oh, no.
find a way to draw me back in, because, like, I'm going to be thinking a certain way versus watching it.
I find that very interesting because some people are like, I can't even, like, watch stuff now because, like people hate watching stuff. People will say, like, people hate watching movies with them because they'll just, like, nitpick through the whole movie. Whereas I know for me, I find it really difficult. Like, I'll have to... when I watch something, I'm, like, totally in, like, the world of the movie. And then I have to watch it a second time with my filmmaker hat on to be like, okay,
I just don't have time to watch it a second time.
Yeah, that's what ends up being the problem.
Yeah, they're like, watch it. And I'm like, great. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't watch it with a filmmaker. Well, fuck it. We're done. Like, moving on. Tell me what you thought about it and I'll remember.
If I take everybody's consideration in this program of what to watch, like, I shouldn't even be coming to school because there's just so much.
That's what's so overwhelming, right? Because you have all your professors saying, you need to watch this, you need to watch this. Kenny literally gave me, like, movies on my hard drive to watch. And I'm like, good sir. I appreciate you giving me film history, but I just don't understand. If I'm on set, I can't be watching the movie. So.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord. So what are your favorite movies, Kerbi? Anna told us she loves superhero movies.
Oh, damn. That's a hard one because I like movies for very different reasons. I love WALL-E. WALL-E is like one of the best. I mean, the fact that there was such little dialogue and they conveyed that.
I've been meaning to have an episode where we just talk about
Disney. Well, I'm available. Just saying.
I gotta write that one down.
Let's see. Interstellar is probably my all-time favorite. I love...
Ryan.
When
I was like, yeah, that's the best.
I was like, is there a bug? Sorry.
Ryan, would you like to interject?
Oh yes, I think Interstellar is a beautifully made movie.
Yes, I agree.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Just the fact that they took such intelligent theories that, I mean, they're so scientific and things, such complex thoughts. And made it available, or I guess how do you put it, communicated it with an audience that may not get all that, but they did it pretty clearly. Like they took people step by step to kind of explain what was happening, so that by the end of it, you were like, "Oh, I see." Okay, like it's still a theory, it's still science fiction, but it was based off of actual papers, actual theory, and they made a narrative using that. That was very, very cool. And then just obviously the way it was shot and the whole. The wave scene with like they're on this planet where every hour is like 7 years or some shit. Like that was intense and
that was crazy.
Yeah, things like that. I love that. But then there's my humor, raunchy comedies. Your Highness, Your Highness is
you
one of
guys
my
didn't
favorites.
know by now. Kerbi's a very raunchy person.
Yes, but Your Highness is probably one of my favorites. Probably almost every line of dialogue has some sort of inside joke with me and my best friend. I'm dead serious. Like, I literally did my the scene analysis over a scene in Your Highness.
Wow.
Like I love this movie. It's so funny. I want them to make a freaking sequel, but they just won't.
They won't.
I want them to. It's so funny.
I really wanted them to make a sequel of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It's so good. It sounds like trash. But these people are classically trained actors who are also killing zombies. And it's not in like a ridiculous like Walking Dead way. It really makes sense in the world. And I just wish they had given it a second chance. It's so good. Go ahead, Ryan.
What is it? So I watched the trailer for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Like, I love Pride and Prejudice. So when I watched the trailer, I was like, that's going to be trash. But is it good?
It's good. I loved it.
It's so good.
I loved it. I'm telling you, I loved it.
Okay.
Trying to say that.
Okay, I'll try to watch it.
Just try it. Just
try it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised because you probably think it's going to be like, oh my God, they're going to be so ridiculous with it. But it's literally Pride and Prejudice. But there's...
With zombies.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say
sounds
it.
ridiculous.
But like, it makes so much sense in the story world. Like, it really is, if zombies were in this world, how would people react?
Okay, so quick question. It takes place in the proper time period.
Yes, it does.
Okay, because you know how they had that whole Romeo and Juliet with the updated... Like,
Oh, that's nonsense.
Yeah, it is. So, like, if it did something like that, then maybe I'm like...
Like, you literally, starting this, when you watch the first couple of scenes, you're like, oh my God, this is truly a period piece. And they're very serious. Like, it's not like... It's a ridiculous plot, like because the characters are taking it so serious, like this is life and death. We gotta kill these motherfuckers. Like you're like, oh shit, it's good. I don't know how else to explain it. It's
movie
so
night
good.
soon.
I know.
I'm so excited.
We definitely gotta have a movie night. But what are your go-to movies besides?
Besides comics. So I'm a big Disney fan. Like, you're never too old to love Disney.
Timeless.
Just saying. Like, Pirates of the Caribbean, the second one, is my absolute favorite. And then The Lion King when I was like a child. And I still watch that now. Like, if it's on TV or like on Freeform, they'll do that on it. And like, I just love any Disney movies. Action, thriller, and mystery. No horror. Just saying.
No horror.
Nope.
What about you, Kerbi? What raunchy movies are you watching in your spare time?
Well, it's mostly really Your Highness is probably that, but like This Is the End, any of those.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, I love that movie so much.
I mean, the ones I just mentioned are probably my go-tos.
Yes.
I usually watch a lot of shit on Netflix. I like to try to branch out and watch new things. I try not to repeat because I know there's so much out there.
True. But like when you just get in like, you're in like a funky state and you just want to watch.
The Scout's Guide. There's the last couple of years, the Scout's Guide to like the zombie apocalypse or something. That one was funny.
What? I've never seen that.
The Babysitter recently. That was pretty good. It's not super raunchy. You could watch it.
I have no problem with raunchy stuff. It just, I don't know why I get surprised every time you say something. It's because I guess she does it when I least expect it, and you think by now I would understand Kerbi. No, still shocked every time she said something.
Hey, look at this picture.
God damn it. So what plans do you guys have for the summer? Now that school is over, how do you guys plan on still staying?
You mean in the 10 days we have in between?
Oh, that's so true. Summer classes.
Yeah.
Fun.
So I got a couple things. I got Doggo at home. Elf. The Doggo. I'll be hanging out with her, drinking heavily, safely.
I love how that's everybody's go-to.
Oh, man.
Everyone you go to, what are you guys doing?
Drinking. And I'll be at home. I will drink.
Sorrows.
I will drink at home by myself. I do not care. I will get drunk at home by myself and hang out with the damn dog just because. Fuck it. And then I'll be playing video games, a lot of them, and streaming. So
I'll drink like a glass of wine or two, but not get drunk with my cats because I do have cats with an S. Cats. And
you are low-key a cat lady.
Yep. My current shirt. My current shirt is of a cat. Just saying.
Oh my god.
But yeah, doing that.
Your vibrator away.
Disclaimer: that was a cell phone.
This is the shit.
It was a cell phone. People
Oh
just
my
saying.
god. Why would we just be playing with vibrators? Jesus
Right?
Well,
Christ.
shit, I don't know your life.
Oh, God.
Why wouldn't you be?
Oh god.
That's the real fucking question here.
Oh my goodness.
And
Slides it away.
oh God.
So back to cats, which has another name.
Yeah,
Anyways,
why?
Your fault. You asked me to come on the show.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, this is probably going to be one of the episodes I can't release on Scat Atlanta Radio. I'll probably have to just release this version on iTunes and put a disclaimer at the bottom.
Premium content.
There'll have to be a checkbox. Are you 18 or older?
Oh, shit.
I currently have family up here, so I'll be spending time with them until I start the summer classes. And then back to work.
Anna, why don't you start us off with telling us that story that I love so much?
Oh, boy. Okay, so.
Thank you, Kerbi.
Different story, sorry.
Yeah, totally different. So, note for anybody listening. If you do work with people, specifically actors and actresses, try to get a feel for the type of person they are before production starts. That being said, I have a horror story of sorts. I was crunch on time and I did not have the opportunity to reshoot or recast, so I had to kind of suck it up and deal with it. But boy, oh boy, is it difficult dealing with actors and actresses that are just
Divas.
bitchy individuals.
I have a witch story of my own. I've said it 1,000 times, but
And opinionated people that just think they know everything, but yet when you ask to do certain things, they just can't do it. And I mean the simplest of things. So it's yeah, and just be careful because a lot of actresses and actors are very two-faced. Very two-faced. And you're stuck with them because you have deadlines and you have stuff that you have to do and you don't have the time to reshoot. So you just got to learn when to suck it up and deal with it and when to just let it go and be next. Yeah, so.
that goes
That's
with
my
crew
input.
too.
Yeah.
Because
That too.
you would think after spending 14 hours with someone on set on a production that is highly stressful. Highly stressful. You're over your 12-hour shoot day. You're going into overtime. You're not paying these people. It's out of the goodness of their hearts that they're here. And they maintain a level of professionalism. You think, hey man, I like you. I feel like I could get a good sense of your character.
I actually have a story.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, no, keep going. I remembered one. It's not from here.
I'm not going to go into the full details of it, but turns out this person they must be bipolar because they had a shoot of their own. Yes.
Oh man! Oh man!
Ryan.
Go
I'll let
on,
Ryan tell the story. No, Ryan. It's funnier when it comes from you. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay, so
The moral of the story is if you're a grad student, please make sure that if you're giving the camera to somebody else who may or may not be a grad student, please, oh God, make sure you know that person knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yes, please. Please! Please!
Ryan, why don't you tell your story?
Actually, no.
You're
a great storyteller.
No, you do it because you were there. You were there.
God, somebody fucking tell the story.
God damn it!
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a long tale, ladies and gentlemen. So, so we're not gonna name names, right?
No names.
We'll go with
Let's say John Doe.
John Doe. Okay. So, wait, what is the opposite of John Doe?
Jane Doe.
So Jane Doe was helping out an undergraduate, John Doe. She, volunteered, okay? Because, the equipment's, it was checked out by Mahalia, and she let the undergraduate use her equipment. So,
I was lied to, though. I just want to throw that out there. The undergraduate told me that a teacher had said for me to give it to them. Mm-hmm. And, fact check with your teachers. You know what I'm saying? Fake news is real out here.
Mm-hmm. Preach that shit.
Fake news is so fucking real.
So I get a text from Nara because she was helping.
So much for naming names.
But she's part of the podcast. So we good. All right, we good. So she went there to help out our Jane Doe. Okay, she texted me like, this production is not good. Like, it's very unprepared. Like, I think you need to come over to help out, Jane Doe. So I was like, frick. Like, I need to study for, like, tests, Avid tests. I gotta work on 704 project. But, Jane Doe, I gotta help out Jane Doe. So I drove 40 to 50 minutes, and mind you, that morning I talked with John Doe about the location, and he said it was in Decatur. And when I plugged in the address, it's in Lithonia, Georgia. Mm-hmm. So I was like, how the frick is Lithonia Decatur? I was like, so this guy is like all over the place.
Well, apparently their original location dropped, and they had to go. Apparently, I don't know. I don't
know. So I drove 40 to 50 minutes, got there, and then I couldn't see John Doe, who was the director of this project. And I was like, what is going on? And like, they told me that they didn't even have water or food, and they were in like, in the mountains or somewhere, Arabian mountains.
On a hot day.
So the more I hear it, the more I got pissed, because how can you not take care of your crew as a producer / director? Mm-hmm. So anyways, we got there, and then we, just sucked it up, did whatever we had to do. And then we were shooting, and suddenly this big rain cloud was like coming towards us. And like, we were getting worried because, these equipment is not cheap. They're like, over
$35,467.29 taken out under my name. That's right, I know the price.
Jane Doe got really anxious because, these equipments aren't cheap. The rain cloud is coming towards us. And she was like, hey, I think, we should wrap it up, or, just take care of the equipment before, it rains. And these fools, John Doe and his friend over there, is like, oh no, it's okay, it's fine, like, let's just go. They were just completely ignoring the DP, which was Jane Doe. So I got more pissed because how can you not listen to your DP, who's a graduate student?
They thought the FS7 was waterproof.
Oh yeah,
my gosh.
And
that's the worst.
That's what sealed nail in the coffin for me.
No.
And I went to that teacher afterwards and said, "Why did you do this to me? Why would you tell me to give this student the camera?" And he was like, "I never said that." And I was like,
What
are you talking about? He said, I said, no. He was like, no, that's not what I said at all. So I was lied to. I was bamboozled. I was hoodwinked.
And it was
by a really good actor, because apparently on set he was bipolar as hell. No offense to bipolar people, but he was just like all over the place, indecisive, very happy one moment, ready to have a meltdown the next moment.
Oh my gosh! You know what he said? He was like, so we confronted him. It was raining during the shoot, and like he was like, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm too stressed. Like, don't talk to me." He walks away. I was like, "What the? Oh gosh! How can you be in this industry if stressed like?"
Who the fuck are you supposed to talk to?
Yeah, but like, so going off of stress, let's just, it is stressful being on set. And, executing the shots that you're going to need, make sure you get everything you need, but you also need to have people to have your back. You can't have people that will not step up when they need to step up. And that's what I'm realizing in this quarter. Like, you need to find the people you're going to work with and work with them and just not deal with the bullshit.
A team. And a team that is willing to work.
Yeah.
Exactly. And take it serious, because while we're in a school environment, this is what we're going to have to do in the industry. Like, there's no bullshit by the time you get out of
this
SCAD.
is what we're showing the people in the industry.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have to take pride in what you do here, because if you don't, they're going to see it and they're going to be like, well, fuck you.
They're going to ask, you went to film school, what have you done? What are you going to do if you have nothing good to show them?
And see, it's like the catch-22. Yes, you could do good things, but if you're with the good people, with the people you surround yourself, if you got people that you just can't count on, unfortunately, that's going to affect your final project, the way the film is at the end. And
all the teachers care about is what's on the screen.
Yep.
They don't want to know about your personal stuff. They don't want to know who did what to who. They just want to know, does the story work?
The fact that you're trying, no.
I don't. Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear who the ones that they will eventually be over with.
But see, that's the thing. This is a grad program. Like, why are you even here if you're not taking this shit seriously?
Why the fuck
are
are
you
half these
wasting
people
time?
acting like they're in junior high?
Yeah.
That's so true. The drama that goes on here. Just in students, period.
Yeah, I've seen more people act like undergrads and junior high kids than actual graduate students here.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
There's a standard. Like, meet it, please.
I've actually met some really professional undergrads, and I am extremely impressed by their demeanor on set and how they carry themselves.
People will notice that, including graduate students. That's a step up for them. Professors are going to see that they're working on grad projects. They're going to be working hard. I can think of a couple right now that I want to work with them. I want to work with them more than half the graduate students.
That's real.
I had to do a short film back in Texas, not for school, just my own passion project. I wrote, directed, and produced it. So I was dealing with a lot of shit. I was finding locations, actors, crew, everything. Had a casting call and a crew call. And I decided that I wanted to shoot it with 2 cameras. So when I was looking for another camera op or what, I said, I'm looking for somebody that has a black magic, because my DP had a black magic, and so I wanted to match, but he didn't have 2. So I find somebody, get the crew all together, and my DP calls me the night before we start shooting and tells me, hey, I think you should probably know this if you don't already, but that guy's not showing up tomorrow. Oh, and I was like,
without any notice?
Nothing. 0. No contact from me. Last I told him the dates. It was in the crew call of what dates there were. When I reached out and said we'd like to work with you and everything, confirmed everything, all that stuff. So dates. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, yeah, apparently he has to work tomorrow. And I was like, okay, well, the fuck didn't he call me? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, the only reason I found out is because his way of getting ready for a project is to call everyone in the camera department, because they're smaller projects, and just be like, hey, this is my name, this is who I am, gonna be looking forward to working with you, and just kind of getting to know somebody a little bit before you show up on set. And he was like, yeah, and he just said, oh, I won't be there. And so he called me and tells me this. My DP's amazing, so he was like, we'll be able to get it done with 1 camera, but it was the schedule was set for 2 cameras. Everything was set for 2 cameras, and they were already long days. So that happened, where you just have to show up and keep going and chugging along. I'm glad we already had a camera. But everybody else on my set I trusted, and it's hard to go from working with a crew, you were talking about teams earlier. I have a team back in Texas that I work with, and I love those people, and I'm seriously thinking about flying their asses out here for my thesis, because I'm I can trust these motherfuckers.
No. Like, I used to, at first when I came here, I was like, man, people are so cliquey. Like, why can't people just work with everyone else? Yeah. But then as I started going through the process, I was like, absolutely not. I have my core set of people that I can work with, and that's who I'm sticking with. And like,
not the rest of y'all. I've noticed that some people, like, this is a grad program, you're supposed to take it seriously, and they don't. Like, when you say you're going to be somewhere at this day and time, you go to this day and time and you do what you got to do. Not like, you know, just leave everybody and do your own thing. Yeah. Like, you can't. Like, no, that doesn't work. And I've been on sets
where it's amazing to see. It seems like every group has that one person that just does not pull their weight. Because I've been on sets where I've helped more than the group member.
Yep. I mean, look, shit happens. You could, I don't know, get in a car accident. Shit just happens. Yeah. And that's unavoidable.
But the way you handle it.
Exactly. Even if you're late, show up and be like, hey, look, this was out of my control. I'm here now. Right. Not just be like blowing it off. Yes, communicate.
There's so many people who don't communicate to you until after something's happening. And by that point, I already hate you. So whatever you're saying is not going to change my mind.
Exactly.
Let me also say that I'm not perfect. I know I've made mistakes. I know we're bitching about it, but I know I've made mistakes. But like I said, it's the way you handle shit. Like, I had, I'm trying to think of an example here. Never mind, I don't have one. But
that's okay, because like, as long as you own it, right? Yeah, everybody's gonna make mistakes, right? That's expected, especially because we're students, and that's fine. Like, if I fuck up, I'm gonna say, "Hey, I fucked up." Like, that's my bad. Yeah. But at least, you know, you can communicate and own it. There are some people who refuse to think that it's their fault, and they blame everybody else except for themselves. And when you're a producer, because I'm in the producer mindset, if something goes wrong, it doesn't matter if it was so-and-so, it's you, because you're the producer. So learn to accept the blame and accept responsibility and push through that shit. But some people don't.
Yeah, some people don't care, and it's like, why are you here? Because you're here, you're spending your time, you're spending your money, but you're also kind of screwing everybody else, because if you're stuck with an individual or people that you know you're not going to work with, good, but it's because of school policy or even the teacher groups you together, you're screwed, because like, there's no way around it. Unfortunately, like, certain classes, you can't pick who you want to work with, and you're stuck with certain people, and you know it's not going to work out, but you just have to try to do your best. And you could do your best, but sometimes it'll show like it's not what you wanted. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's the most disappointing part. Yes. Where because of all the conflicts on set and the individual conflicts between people, the vision is sacrificed.
Oh man.
And the project that you had imagined, that you loved and cared so much about, is not at all what you thought it would be.
I mean, that's gonna, like, I see what you're saying. That's going to happen anyway, just because, like, you can't get things perfect. But to see it happen for stupid shit, that's what's
frustrating.
Because I know, like, when I have a vision in my head, you're going to get it as close as you can, and you may even make it better by changing it, whatever. But when it's something as stupid as, oh, I didn't try to get this location for you, or I forgot
equipment,
or this, and you're like, do your fucking job and we can all be happy. But I mean, shit goes wrong, we get that, we all know that, and you have to deal with it, you have to roll with the punches. But there's a part of life that's acceptable. When shit happens, but do your fucking jobs. It's not that hard.
This is why I believe in peer reviews. I think at the end of every class we should be able to give a review for our peers, because there are certain technical errors that people continue to make in their projects that should not happen past a certain degree, and they do get overlooked. Like, you're in an upper level class now, why is everything out of focus?
That student you were talking about earlier, how the hell are they still in this program?
Don't know.
There should be, I don't know the solution, but I would love to have a discussion. I would love to bring in students and teachers and find a solution to this problem to help weed out the people that don't deserve to be here. And this is my opinion, and that can change, it varies, but people that don't want to be here, they just want their money, but we have to find some sort of balance. Okay, we'll take their money, but get them out of my class. You know, like I don't care. Do what you want about that, but I want my experience to be good here.
Yeah.
But you also have to realize that those people that they're looking at like that, or students that you see are kind of going down that road, they are going to represent this school and this organization when they leave here. Does SCAD really want that? Does any school really want that? I get that there's some people that are going to slip through the cracks and you'll have a bad egg every once in a while, but goddamn, there's a whole damn rotten nest over there that I see, and I'm like, clean your shit up, man.
Yeah.
I just, like, because we're all, like, still in the very beginnings of this program, right? I guess there's a type of leeway, but I just wish there was a way to, like, track and progress, you know, like, track the progress of certain people. Like I said, like, we're to a point where nothing should be out of focus, or severely out of focus. Like, that should not happen. Exactly. Like, nothing you should be doing. I mean, I get accidents happen. Yeah. That's fine, right? But it shouldn't be an accident that's so drastic that you can't fix it at all.
Exactly.
And you have to live with it.
Like, I've had problems in the past where, like, you know, if you're in a situation with people and people don't pull their weight, like, there's just so much stress on the people who do put their weight. Like, me, instantly, like, you know, I had to figure a lot of shit out on my own, and I had somebody to rely on, but there's just so much things that me and this specific person were doing, and, like, you know, you miss stuff. You're not perfect. Like, yeah, you could get this shot great, and you're focused on that, especially if you're, like, in a location and you have a time crunch. That's a whole nother discussion for another day. Yep. And, like, you have to go in, you have to get your shots, and you have to get everything between the time that you have. There are going to be times when you miss little things, but that's also because you don't have that support of who you have in your group, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I try my best. I'm not perfect. You have people that you're working with, but, like, if everybody in your group doesn't work together, you will miss stuff. The lighting could be wrong. You could be out of focus. So it's like you have to try your best. You have to do it, but, like, there's only so much you could do at the same time. And that adds the stress.
Yeah. And what sucks is sometimes the end result is if some people aren't pulling their weight together, the people that do kind of just, you know, band together and kind of just exclude the other person because we're on a time crunch. This project is due at a certain date. I don't have time for your excuses anymore. So now you're
just fire them.
Exactly. So it's like you're doing the work and the person's still getting the credit for the work because the name's on their project, but, like, they haven't done anything.
Exactly. When you're on set, it's like you're doing the work of, like, 3 people, 2 people, because you're pulling the weight of the group people that are not participating, that are not helping you. The stuff that, like, if you're a director, you need to focus on directing. You can't direct and check on the lighting, you know? And, like, if you don't have the support of your teammates, your group, you're going to be doing too much and you're going to miss the big overall picture.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think of, like, what do you think the solution is to, like, fixing this problem?
I think a good start would be the evaluations as part of a grade. Let's say that we're a group of 4, right? And if I say one bad thing about Mahalia, right, but everyone else didn't have a problem, well, it's probably just a personal issue, whatever. Right. You would hope people would be more professional, but shit happens. But if 3 of us are saying the same shit about you, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe have a conference with the student. I don't know. I don't want to be like, this is how it should be done, because I don't know, but I think that's a good start. Putting their grade on the line. Because if they're here and they need to keep that grade, that's a reason. But I don't know, it also boils down to people, because I still don't know how people are here if they're spending this much money to be here and they're spending this much time and effort. Why not put your best foot forward? Why...
Oh my God. Do you know what my biggest pet peeve is? Like, going back off what you said, why would you not put your best foot forward? It bothers me so much when I see people take trips in the middle of a quarter. Especially if you're in a group.
I don't understand that.
Like, why? You're spending so much money to be here. Yeah. You know, here at SCAD, there are no excused absences. So it's going to...
my grandma died, bitch, so I have
know. Oh my God, Kerbi. That's That's different.
Do you know what it is?
Circumstances out of your control.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. Like,
no, I know what you mean.
Important family,
Yes.
like events, like like my sister's getting married. All right, well, I'm not gonna let you miss your sister's wedding. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Come back when you can. Somebody died. Oh my God, go grieve.
Yeah.
Please come back, but go grieve.
Go drink.
Going off of Mahali, like, I don't understand how, if you're in a group environment and you being in this group, you need to do your what is it, the load of the weight, that the work that you have to do in this group.
Words, Anna, you got it.
Yeah, I'm getting like, the stress of this semester is coming back.
Real, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, how are you absent?
My biggest pet peeve is when people book trips in the middle of the quarter, especially when you have group projects, because you're leaving your group behind, and it's just so inconvenient for everybody else. It's my biggest pet peeve.
Especially when it's personal. Like, just, I want to just do this.
Yeah, someone was literally like, I want to go on vacation. Bitch, we all want vacation.
Right?
We all want a vacation.
You got
Or
a
like-
couple weeks between quarters.
Right.
Or like when students like just don't show up, like, hello, we're in a collaborative environment. We need each other, and you're just not gonna show up and do your part of the work. You're screwing everybody over. Like, why are you even here? Is my thing.
I mean, so I know there's been times, not necessarily like on group projects and taking trips, but I've taken a trip before where I've needed to do something and someone's like, oh, I need your help. It's like, well, I can't. But, and I don't know in your situations, but if people are still like out there and or they prepare a bunch of stuff and give it to you and then they go on their trip and then they come back and keep going, or if they're helping while they're on their trip.
No, I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
But if you're just like, okay, bye, deal with it, and then they come back and they're like, okay, I'll pick up whatever pieces are here.
No.
Like, you gotta put in if you're supposed to put in, 100% effort over that weekend, and you just leave and there's just 100% missing, bitch, you better either do 100% before 50 after,
Right.
do it while you're there. I don't know, but like, I get sometimes
Or
you wanna
send
do
somebody
things.
in your place. That could be an easy solution,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't be there. Send somebody that can be you on set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would have no problem with that. I would understand that. But like, just not doing anything, not even putting forth any effort into helping your group, that irks me.
Yeah, like, there are days when I don't even want to come in, and like, I know that people are like, they
So
need you.
every day.
No, it's just like if shit's going on, but like, you need help. You need to help people, and they'll help you. That's that's like the unspoken rule in this environment.
Apparently, it needs to be
Yeah,
spoken. Shit.
Yeah, and
Some
it's
people
get it
like,
get the
written down.
message. Right.
Yeah.
Golden Rule production. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine.
Oh, damn.
It's so irritating. So fucking irritating. But anyway, on that note, I think we can end the episode right there. I think we're good.
Okay.
Goodbye.
So it's finals. Finals are finally over. You guys go home, get some sleep, get some rest, eat,
Drink.
play
Video games.
relax,
Play with the dog. Play with the cats. Hang out with
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun
Touch
shit.
somebody.
And
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh no!
Thank you, Kerbi. Thank you very much. Before we wrap, guys, sponsor time. Go get your Filmstruck. If you have not, sign up for it. Every film student should have a Filmstruck account. And get your Movie Pass if you haven't had it already.
Hell yeah.
We're trying to get sponsored, so we shout them out all the time. After that, big thank you to Scat Atlanta Radio, although I'm really not sure how I'm going to play this episode on Scat Atlanta Radio. But big shout outs to them for giving me a platform to launch off of. And that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.